Now, we continue to follow breaking news out of Capitol Hill. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan has lost the second round of voting for Speaker of the House. The House is now in recess. A total of 199 Republicans voted for the House Judiciary Committee chair, but 22 did not vote for him. Congressman Jordan needs 217 votes in order to win the gavel. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now to talk about this. Scott, you had 20 Republicans who didn't vote for Jordan yesterday, and today the number's even larger. How surprising is that?
The margin just seems intransigent at this moment, and ultimately it's leading to this stew of antsiness, aggravation, and anger here in the U.S. House among Republicans. They just want this to be over with, but they're heading in the wrong direction. I spoke with three supporters of Jim Jordan a few moments ago: Chip Roy of Texas, Byron Donalds of Florida, Tim Burchett of Tennessee. Each of them told me that they think Jim Jordan should get back out there, have another vote, have a third ballot on this speaker's race, and potentially use that same type of political brute force that Kevin McCarthy used through 15 rounds in January. But the trajectory is wrong here for Jim Jordan. He lost more votes than he gained on the second ballot, and there does seem to be some softness to some of the remaining support, people who are wondering how long this should go on for. Not everybody is as spirited as Chip Roy, Byron Donalds, and Tim Burchett, thinking he should get right back out there and try again.
You know, a key Republican source is telling CBS News, quote, all roads lead to McHenry. Representative Patrick McHenry, of course, the Speaker pro temp right now, who's simply presiding over these votes. Can you just elaborate on why we're hearing his name brought up so much now as an alternative?
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that over the past 24 hours. Republicans have been saying it openly into cameras. We've got to go with Patrick McHenry. It's the only off-ramp here. In fact, they may get some support from Democrats in doing that, too. It's really a third way that's gaining some traction. Does it have sufficient traction? It's a different story. But what they're suggesting here is expanding the portfolio and the powers of the Speaker pro tem, this acting Speaker who, so far, has seen his only role as shepherding the U.S. House toward the next Speaker vote. They want to empower him instead to fully reopen the floor, resume the legislative process, resume debate, and get the House functioning again. It may be a provocative notion. It's certainly unprecedented. This is the first time America's ever come across this circumstance. But it also may be simpler to make that work than to find anybody inside the House Republican Conference capable of getting 217 votes. Let's see what momentum is built for that idea if Jim Jordan goes back to the floor for a third ballot, loses more support, or backs away from his run altogether.
Well, Scott, we saw Congressman Jordan shuttling around to those weary Republicans who hadn't supported him. We saw him this morning pressing the flesh on the House floor, still trying to convince the last few holdouts. So now that the House is in recess before this next vote, what's happening? Where do members go from here? And I guess, does he still try this full court press?
But there's no indication, Errol, of what silver bullet can be fired by Jim Jordan to bring back so many. He needs to get 18 or 19 of these 22 back into his camp because there's such a political diversity among his defectors. You know, you have some of those freshman Republicans who swung blue districts red last year. Some of those who may be in districts President Biden won in 2020. So this may be a politically perilous move for them to vote for a firebrand conservative media darling like Jim Jordan. Think about the Republicans from Michigan, New York, and Virginia who are among those who defected from Jim Jordan. But there are also some institutionalists here who are not at all from moderate districts. The chair of the House Appropriations Committee, Kay Granger of Texas, a longtime House member, veteran of these parts, Mike Simpson of Idaho. There's nothing you can do to bring all of those coalitions back at once. And if Jim Jordan had that silver bullet, or at least one that was effective on some members, certainly he would have fired it already.
Very good point. Scott MacFarlane, thank you very much.
Thank you.